All right, the NFL draft coming up quick, and the Lions are in an interesting spot, but they got some really good news about a possible trade. So if you look at where the Lions are, they're picking number 6, and you can see there's really these top 4 elite players, a couple of quarterbacks. We don't need, and then it maybe drops off, maybe doesn't. So in that 6th spot, it would be great if we could trade, either go up and get Will Anderson or Jalen Carter. That'd be awesome, right? Well, I don't know what that would take. Or, hey, let's acquire more picks, let Brad Holmes work his magic later in the draft and go back 10, 12, however far back we want to. So, really, when you look at the order, you can see it right there. We're at 6, lucky to have it. Great trade to get that with Matthew Stafford. So here's the news that's great. So Vegas has odds. This comes from sportsbettingdime.com via DraftKings. They have odds of the first overall pick. Bryce Young leads the way, CJ Stroud, and then Will Levis. Odds to be the number 1 pick. So what that tells me is the demand for Will Levis and quarterbacks in general, super high. Number 1 pick. Right now, the Bears have the number 1 pick, and we'd all just imagine they're not going to take a quarterback. So they're either going to take Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, or they are going to trade that. So what this does is that drives that demand for Will Levis is really the guy that we're going to key on, because teams will want to come up and get him. So if you look at the draft order, Chicago, let's say they stay, they can take one of the top guys. Houston might need a quarterback. Arizona doesn't need a quarterback. Indy needs a quarterback. So then Seattle, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But now you look at us sitting here, and teams may want Will Levis. Las Vegas would be one of those teams. The Jets. These are all teams rumored, some of these veteran quarterbacks out there, Aaron Rodgers being one of them. But man, at some point, Carolina, at some point, you got to get Atlanta. You've got to get a quarterback. So Will Levis, and this would be perfect if you could just drop a couple spots, get a 2nd round pick, 3rd round pick, couple picks, maybe a pick next year, whatever. You're not dropping very far. Now, if the Jets want to come all the way up, we're going to need more. But you look at the teams that might be looking for this, and what it looks like is the demand for Will Levis is higher than we thought, which is great news for the Lions, because they could really get a trade partner that wants to come up. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do we want to fall back? I mean, a trade back and acquiring more picks would be outstanding, because if you look at the big board, if we go down somewhere in the 10, 11, 12, you're still able to get Christian Gonzalez, who a lot of people have mocked us. You're getting Christian Gonzalez now a little bit lower, but now you're going to have more picks to do more things. Devin Witherspoon, if we fall at that 13. And by the way, Anthony Richardson, another quarterback that teams would like. So we could almost do like a double trade back. Let's get real weird, where we trade back and then someone wants to come up again and get Anthony Richardson. We trade back again, just get a ton of picks in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th rounds. Let Brad Holmes just go crazy. My point is, Brian Branch, safety, Bijan Robinson, Ringo, don't love Torrance, has not given up a sack, some weird stat, great interior lineman, the best interior lineman out there. We need a right guard. So this is a great way. So it's hard to look past these top guys here and think, boy, we'd love to have him. It's so deep, and there's so many guys. You look at defensive linemen, it just goes and goes. Mozzie Smith is a perfect example. They have him 55 overall. Great player. We can just go back and back. And you look at a linebacker, Jack Campbell. Can you imagine him? Perfect, right? Perfect for us. Noah Sewell plays with his brother. He's 48, 68. These are guys lower in the draft that we just get caught up in the 1st round, the top 10 picks. Trade. We would love that. So if somebody wants to come up and get Will Levis, that changes everything for us, and it really drives the demand up for a trade up there. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know if it will happen. I saw a stat that only 12 times in the last 40 years has the number 1 overall pick been traded. Trades in the top 5, top 10 don't happen as much as we think. And because when they do happen, they're blockbuster and there's picks galore. And it's like, whoa, they gave up so much to do that. RG3, even Jared Goff. I didn't realize Jared Goff went for a ton of picks to get the Rams to go up and get him. It just does not happen that often. So it's hard to get the trade. We all want the trade because of Brad Holmes. I mean, Brad Holmes makes you just think, all right, like give it to, fifth round pick, sixth round pick. Like we cannot wait. Craig and I are like so excited for the draft, just for more of the fifth, sixth, seventh round picks, just to see, man, if Brad Holmes thinks that guy is the man in the, in the sixth round, I can't wait to see it. So here's a mock draft from Tankathon. You can see Levis is sitting right there. Christian Gonzalez continues to be the top corner talked about. I mean, we'll see, right? I mean, there's just so much time still to go with a little bit of. I love Witherspoon. I think he's a great player. Anthony Richardson, somebody got to look for. Breeze continues to go up and down. I've seen him in the second round. I've seen him all the way at the top. Later on. So there's just a lot of different moving parts. There's one other guy I wanted to point out. I can see if I can find him. He's a safety that you guys pointed out to me. I can't think of his name right here. JL Skinner, safety. There's a perfect guy you get in the second, third round, 6'4", 220. If you don't know him, check him out. JL Skinner is just an absolute beast safety. There's guys all over the place, is my point. And so if we can trade, we're absolutely going to do it. Let Brad Holmes do his thing. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Trade, not to trade. Do you think the demand's there? The Will Levis news is big, and it's going to help us have some more demand at the top of the draft. See all of you on the next one.